I'd like to call to order the City of Natchitoches Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. Can we get a roll call?
Mr. Bobby Claiborne,
Here.
Mr. Charles Whitehead III,
Here.
Ms. Ethel Blake, Mr. Isaac Lewis,
Here.
Mr. Michael Lewis, Mr. Ricky McAllister,
Here.
Mr. Ron Brown,
Here.
Mr. Walter Johnson,
Here.
and Ms. Anita Dubois.
All right, Ms. Donna, I count that as a quorum. Is that what you have?
Yes, sir.
All right, I kind of jumped out of order here. The comments that I'm going to make tonight, we're going to take up, we've got some relatively easy applications, it appears. Very perfunctory, but the process we'll take is that we're going to hear from the applicant or his designee telling us about the application after it's been described by the director. We'll then move on to anybody in opposition to the application, and then after that, we'll hear comments back from the applicant or his designee regarding any rebuttal limited to the opposition comments. And then we'll move to discussion by commissioners. For everybody's, since you all don't come here often, we've got a rezone tonight, and those things are amending the master zoning map, which was adopted by ordinance. Therefore, the only way to amend that is to amend it by another ordinance, which requires action by this commission, and then it will be introduced on the 10th in front of the city council here. It's not supposed to be for discussion, but if somebody says they can't be here for the final meeting on the 24th, the city council typically lets them talk. I suggest that anybody that's pro for the application be here on the 10th to respond to any out-of-time comments, assuming that the city council lets you do that. If they don't let somebody make out-of-time comments, I wouldn't say anything, but you can take care of it as you see fit. With regard to things like reallocating lot lines or subdividing property, which we have three, other three applications are about that. That'll be final for 10 days from today's action. Anybody who is aggrieved has to affirmatively file an appeal with the clerk of the city, and it will be docketed in due course within 45 days. Otherwise, on the 11th day, it will be final, and the applicant or his designee will have to pick up the plat from Ms. Rock or Ms. Oaks or Ms. Williams at the office, bring them over to Mr. Stamey's office at the clerk of court, record it, and bring back a copy to the planning and zoning office showing the date and time of filing and the map slide number. Did I miss anything on the comments?
No, sir, you did not.
Let's, we'll move on to 3.1, approval of the minutes. Commissioners have been provided copies of the minutes from the prior meetings. If there are any additions, corrections, or deletions, I'll hear a motion to do that. Otherwise, I'd like a motion to dispense the formal readings and adopt them as proposed.
I'll make a motion.
Mr. Lewis moves to adopt the minutes and waive their formal reading. Second by McAllister. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Ms. Williams, get with me at the end, make sure that I sign that stuff. Number 4, new business, subsection 4.1, Friends All United for the Natchitoches Animals, 8158 Highway 1 bypass to rezone the following: a lot containing 6.3 acres being Tract B of the Division of Lands in Section 72, 73, 74, 87, 105, 110, and 133, Township 9 North, Range 7 West, Natchitoches, Louisiana, shown on a plat under conveyance instrument number 135765 from R1 residential to B3 commercial, bearing municipal address 8158 Highway 1 bypass to build and operate an animal shelter. If the applicant or the designee would come forward while we get a description from the director.
So currently, this property is, as the chairman stated, zoned R1, but to build and operate an animal shelter, that's not a use by right in R1, so we're recommending that the property be rezoned to B3.
And this property is bordered by the DOTD's, it's not a laydown lot, but where they store materials, and the city's feed mill and all that. It's almost an industrial use over there right now, as it's being used, not by right.
Correct.
All right. Please state your name, ma'am, for the record, and tell us if there's anything you need to add, delete, or correct that the director had to say.
My name is Shirley Walker, and I'm the chairman of the Shelter Committee for Fauna for Friends All United for Natchitoches Animals, and everything stated is correct. Thank you.
Is there anything you need to add, ma'am?
No, thank you.
All right, does anyone else want to speak on behalf of the application of Fauna? Hearing none, is there anyone in opposition to the application of Fauna? Hearing none, discussion by commission members.
I'd just like to know, does this have anything to do with the Natchitoches, City of Natchitoches Animal Shelter? This is a,
This actually is going to be built by the 501c3 organization, Friends All United for Natchitoches Animals. Our ultimate goal is shelter will serve the parish and the city, and we have been meeting regularly with Mayor Williams about it, and also with the police jury. And our goal is ultimately to enter into a cooperative endeavor to house the animals at the current city shelter that is, quite old. And those animals are subjected to extreme conditions.
so it's basically gonna be, dogs and cats and probably
Dogs.
horses or something like that?
Well, we have 6.5 acres, and we have talked about in the future having large animals, but we are not planning to begin with large animals. It will simply be dogs and cats, yes. Just small domestic animals.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Is it, Reese, any questions for anybody else? Discussion by commission members.
I make a motion to approve.
Motion by Claiborne to approve.
I second.
Second. By, Mr. Baptiste, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign.
That's Johnson.
I'm sorry.
Don't throw them.
It's been a long day today.
Okay.
It's been a long day today. I got phone calls from 3 people I hadn't heard from in 10 years asking me a question. Please, Ms. Landrum, Ms. Walker, let Mr. Friedman and Ms. Friedman know that I'm sure the city and the parish appreciate their donation of this property.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We've got number 4.2, the application by Mr. Ronald D. Roy, Lot 5A being a re-subdivision of Lot 4 and 5 of Block A of the replat of Block A of Hancock subdivision, shown on the plat of survey recorded in Conveyance Book 566, Folio 488 of the records of Natchitoches Parish to reappropriate or reapportion lot lines. I understand there's a typo in our agenda. Madam Director, would you please read the actual physical address of this?
So the physical address it's on a corner lot. So it's 438 East Fifth Street and 459 Stevens Avenue. So I don't know if we need to make an amendment to the
I don't know,
advertisements.
what does the application say? Because that really gets
The
old.
application actually is correct. What we advertised, though, was the person's current address and not the address of the property that's being subdivided.
Out of an abundance of caution, why don't you read those numbers in one more time?
The address is 438 East Fifth Street and 459 Stevens Avenue.
May I have a motion to amend the application to reflect that that's the,
So, second.
McAllister, motion by McAllister, second by Lewis, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, so tell us, while the applicant or his designee comes forward, Madam Director, what's happening here?
So they're moving the boundary lines, and I'm not sure, are you here?
Yeah, Mr. Roy's here.
I want him to actually explain
Okay.
what they're wanting to do, but it is 2 separate lots. One will be .15 a 159 acres, and the other, the second lot will be 098 acres.
And those
Point zero.
meet
Are
our
conforming
minimums.
lots.
And there's no violation of setbacks on at least 8A2.
Correct.
All right. Mr. Roy, you heard the director. Tell us what y'all are trying to do here.
The brown house that fronts on East Fifth Street, it has no backyard.
Got you.
So we're moving the lot line back on my property that I own behind that.
And so
Giving a
what,
backyard to it in case I want to sell the house.
so what's happening on Lot 7? Is that just a blank lot right there?
Which one?
It's the one, it would be to the
It's gonna be this.
west.
This big lot.
What's happening on it?
Yeah, I mean, you got, the house evidently sits on Lot 8A1 and Lot 7.
Yeah, well, I own lot 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9.
Right.
So-
All right, well, just want to make you aware that this house is half on one lot and half on the other, as long as you're aware of that.
Yeah, I own both of
It,
them.
it already is there, so
Yeah.
you're just trying to add a little to lot 8A2, is give them a backyard.
Adding a few feet to the East Fifth Street backyard.
Good. Any questions by members of the commission for Mr. Roy? Anyone speaking on behalf of the application of the Elsie Roy LLC? Hearing none, is discussion by commission members. Commission have a pleasure.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Claiborne to approve,
Second.
second by McAllister. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. I'm looking at my copy of the survey. Are there signature lines on that?
It is,
All right, yeah, I gotta scroll the other way.
correct.
Okay. Well, Mr. Roy, in 11 business days, you'll need to come to the office, pick up the final plat. It'll be signed by everybody but you. You need to sign it, bring it over to David Stamey, record it, and bring them back one showing the date, time, and booking page number. And they'll let you know if somebody files an appeal, although I don't anticipate that happening. This is just a rejiggering of lot lines. All right, let's see here. Number 4.3, Pearson Realty, the application of Pearson Realty to subdivide the following: a lot on the northwest corner of Front and Two-Line, 194.9 feet fronting on Front Street by 162 feet, bearing municipal address 512 Front Street to subdivide for sale. Madam Director, do you want to defer to the applicant to explain what's going on? Because I know this is kind of,
It's a bit much.
all right. Will the applicant or his designee come forward? And just for the record, before this, I forgot to send it to Madam Director, but I pulled the 1962 survey of this, which includes lots 1, 2, 3, and, as designated on your plat. It just does not include this 27 feet that runs, that's shown in green on the north or top side. And so that appears to match what they've proposed. Please state your name, sir, for the record.
Zachary Middendorf,
And whom do you represent, Mr.
the
Mendorf?
Pearson Realty Corporation.
All right, and tell us what y'all intend on doing.
Well, first, I would like to tell you that that is the original subdivision plan, not the one, the revised plan.
Yeah.
So I have another copy of that here as well.
You have another one so I can pass this
Yes,
around?
Make sure those are the same.
Yeah, they are.
It's, I apologize for the confusion there. It's gone through a couple of revisions. That original plan that was shown up on the screen was drawn basically just along building lines. And once we started to look into it with the surveyor and planning and zoning. A number of revisions were made in order to more equitably distribute the parking to the different buildings, as well as improve the traffic flow and the access and egress to the rear doors of each of the buildings, and also to provide a dumpster location for my use dumpster, which has, up until this point, been located on property that is now being subdivided and sold separately. And so we needed to divide things in such a way that they would have a place to put their dumpster where the trucks could come and pick it up. And that is shown on the plan that we just passed to y'all.
I don't need that, I need that.
Do you have a copy of the matching preliminary survey that was,
I just passed it around to you.
okay, I have one more copy as well if you need an answer.
What is the differential, Mr. Middendorf, between black 5 and blue 2?
So 5 is the location of the dumpster.
Okay,
2 is referencing property number 2.
that is comes from the Noelle Cockfield acquisition by Dr. Pearson and Mr. McClary.
Yes, sir.
So are you proposing to carve out black 5 out of
No,
blue
sir,
2?
that's just on there to designate
For
where
reference?
we're providing a placement for the dumpster.
All right. And so what is black 5 going to serve? Red 1, red 2, or red 3?
Red 2, so blue 2, as we're referring to it, it is that separate parcel that we're keeping separate, but it's being, so that we're only subdividing the one large parcel.
Yeah, blue 2 is not a subdivision. Blue 2
Right.
exists.
Right, we're keeping that separate, but it's being sold together with red 2.
All right, so
And so-
red 2 and blue 2 are being acquired by whomever you're,
Yes, sir.
and so I don't understand this. Is 5, I thought my use would have been in red 2.
It is.
So the black 5 is just for y'all's reference.
Yes,
It has nothing to do with us.
It's literally just a location marker for.
Gotcha.
Where we're planning to.
No problem.
That they can put their dumpster.
You can understand how this can be a little bit
I
confusing.
believe
coming
me,
up.
I do. I've worked on it for a long time.
And even having pulled the survey 3 weeks ago when I heard this was coming up, I still, okay. So we've got yellow 4, which is the parking lot that goes from,
Well, so if you'll allow me,
sure,
that is the rite of passage easement
it's
that is
the,
being.
it's the avenue of passage, because you're gonna split it up, I imagine, and give red 3 the rights over red 2's part of yellow 4, and red 1's part of yellow 4.
So.
And so it's all gonna be reciprocal. 3, 2, and 1 red are gonna share an easement
Yes, sir.
over what they don't own of yellow 4.
So,
Is that, and I'm sorry if I'm confusing
No, it's all right.
everybody, but it's just my mind is working, trying to
I
put
know.
the pieces of
It's
this
a lot.
puzzle together.
So essentially, you can look at it this way. The rear of each of those subdivided properties, 1, 2, and 3, is going to have an easement on the rear 27 feet of their property that is in favor of the other two properties.
And
So
are
they, so they all will be able to cross the rear 27 feet of each other's properties.
Of the stuff under red, now, is there gonna be an easement for red 1 and red 3 over blue 2?
Yes, so you should see yellow lines also
Okay.
around the inside of blue 2.
Okay, gotcha. All right, it's just kind of wasn't included in our packet, so just trying to get it
Sorry.
squared away. That's okay, but I could tell everybody, I looked at this stuff when I heard it was coming up. This building's been here since the mid-30s. I mean, it just is what it is. And there's no, correct me if I'm wrong, Ms. Rock, there's no requirement for on-site parking in the central business district.
Correct.
And it's zoned for 0 lot lines.
Right.
However, knowing that to be true, having done my research, I still felt it
We still have
wise
to get this.
to provide a parking plan and make sure that each of the property owners would have a decent amount of parking.
It was my understanding the parking on yellow 4/B2 is gonna be eliminated from the survey. Doesn't mean that people can't park there, but it was my understanding the final was gonna eliminate those, but I may be incorrect.
No, I don't believe so. It's the surveyor's plan to have the parking designated on the survey. But it can be eliminated if you
It's not
think that
required,
that would
so-
be necessary, but
I'm not sure we'll have to talk with the commission. I'm not sure it's required because there's no required parking. All right, well, so with that confusing number of colors and parcels, are there any questions for Mr. Middendorf by commission members? All right, anybody in opposition to the application of Pearson Realty? Any discussion by commission members? Let me ask you, Madam Director, does it matter to us whether parking is designated on this survey or not?
No, sir.
If it's not required.
So it's not required, so if, for example, the final survey showed no parking, it would be of no moment to us, is that
Correct.
correct? We can approve it
Right.
one way or the other. All right. So, discussion by commission members. So essentially what's gonna happen is it's Papa's Steakhouse to the corner, including, it used to include the Hall of Fame or whatever it's called. On the corner is gonna be one track. The old Dollar General, I don't know what's in one anymore, is gonna be a separate track. And those old doctor's office, if, trying to see who's, Bobby's been here long enough to remember those doctor's office, Dr. Brazil and all that.
Barbershop there.
No, that's over in the McCleary building, because old man McCleary rented number 3 at a loss and leased it to the doctors, so he'd have doctors walking distance from
That's right, that's
the
it.
PNC Rexall
Somebody
drugs.
lived there, didn't it?
$25 or something is what he charged those doctors to be there. So that's what we're looking at. I mean, good Lord, it's been there 100 years.
Mr. Whitehead, if I
Yes, sir.
may, one, as designated on the plan, is the 2-story Pearson James building. And so that's a separate building. The 2 starts with simply chic, and then you have Mayu's, which occupies two spaces. And then you have, help me out, Don. The barbershop, but what's the other boutique's name?
You have Easton and Company.
Easton.
And you have Sports Hall of Fame, and then you turn the corner and you have a single one
Right.
So that's everything that's in that building. And then 3 is its own separate building.
Right.
As you mentioned, it has been doctor's offices, but it's also been apartments, and is currently 2 of the units are occupied by a barber shop, and 1 is an apartment, so.
And one was many years ago, maybe before you moved here, it was the first Dollar General we had back in the day. So, I mean, it's just basically divvying up property has natural separations, as you can see from the map, based on when they were built. But like I said, when I pulled the plat from 1960, when Dr. Pearson had it, it showed everything under the red lines. And then looked at the source deed, and I mean, there were leases from 1937 where this property had been leased. This has been some of the oldest possessed Natchitoches property in a long time, and I guess the final heirs are trying to divvy it up because it's too big a bill for somebody to swallow.
That's part of it.
Lindsay in there at one time?
It was? An
Morgan
old
and
5
Lindsay.
and dime.
Yep.
Increase in insurance costs in general, but then after a couple of claims from fires has made it cost prohibitive for the current owners or future owners to try and insure it all together, because it's too many disparate types of businesses and everything, and so the insurance it's not workable as one total property. That's really the reason why it was split up. And it was split up along firewalls, existing firewalls between the buildings as they were constructed. And so it's a natural splitting up of the buildings.
What's the commission's pleasure? I mean, we've gotten past discussion.
Motion to approve.
Motion by McAllister.
I'll second it.
Second by Claiborne. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. It stands passed. You need to get us the final plat. When is y'all's meetings? Are they Tuesday mornings? We really need it by next Tuesday morning, because she'll have, well, let me put it to you this way. It's only every Tuesday. Otherwise, you're gonna have to carry it to each one of the department heads. I say Tuesday morning.
I
They
think
have
I'll
a
probably
meeting.
end up having to do that because.
But they have a meeting every Tuesday morning where all department heads are up here. If you give it to her, she'll get all the department heads to sign while they're all sitting around one table. Otherwise, you'll have to carry it to the fire marshal or the fire chief and whoever else we have to do it to. If you want it before the next Tuesday, totally up to you.
Well, I'm at the mercy of the surveyor and
I understand.
when he can get it done.
I understand, but I didn't want
And
to-
that's not happening by Tuesday, I'm pretty sure.
Well, it's not gonna be final by Tuesday, so the next Tuesday would be really the thing that would make sense. But I just wanted to let you know, we're here to accommodate, but
Well, thank you.
no problem. All right, thank you, sir, I appreciate your efforts and, in this matter to move us forward. We need it. 4.4, our application by Brew Crew LLC. 200 Kaiser Avenue to subdivide the following. 1.887 acres located in section 52, Township 9 North, Range 7 West on Kaiser Avenue and Williams Avenue, shown on a survey by Robert Lynn Davis dated July 27, 2016, bearing municipal address 200 Kaiser Avenue to develop a drive-through coffee site. Let's get some comment from the director with a historical perspective, if we could.
So the property is Zone B3, which to have a coffee shop there, it will be a use by right. However, the parcel must be subdivided out. Right now, it's one parcel that actually contains the car wash. So with this subdivision, they will divide it out and just have the 0.69 acres just for the drive-through coffee shop. It will be a 510 square foot manufactured building with drive-through only, no sit-down inside area for coffee, drinks, and the likes.
And of course, that's that will meet the double setbacks of a corner. And we'll have an opportunity to review that administratively.
Correct.
This board won't, but your
We
office will.
Right, we're still waiting on approval from DOT on that aspect, and they still need to present to HDC for the outside elevation.
So no matter what we do, the Department of Transportation and Development has to approve any curb cuts.
Correct.
Is that correct?
That's correct.
And Ms. Cahagan's commission, the Historic Commission, has to approve whatever they build.
Correct.
And so nothing we do supersedes any of those if we choose to approve it. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And from a historical standpoint, this was a bunch of property that was individual lots that were lumped together, unsubdivided, for lack of a better term, and now we're re-subdividing them. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. Please, sir, if you'll state your name for the record and tell us who you represent.
My name is Ben Brazel. I'm the Director of Development for Arkansas, Louisiana, and Texas, Seven Brew Coffee Brew Crew LLC.
All right, and you heard the description of your application by the director, did you, sir?
Yes, sir.
And you understand that the Department of Transportation and Development has absolute control over the curb cuts into the property should y'all choose to buy.
Yes, sir.
And that anything we do doesn't guarantee you those curb cuts.
Yes, sir.
And you understand also that the Historic District Commission has to approve under whatever standards they have, what kind of building you put there. And their authority over that is more than ours.
Correct. Yes, sir.
All right. So did you have anything to add to what the director had to say?
No, sir. She described it pretty well. Drive-through coffee, smoothies, teas, Italian sodas, milkshakes. Got a little bit of something for everybody. No seating inside or outside, like she said. Only drive-through, trying to divide the lot from the car wash.
All right. Any questions for this gentleman from members? Any opposition? Go ahead.
I just wanted to ask him, don't you think you ought to wait till DOTD
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
approve before you try to make this move?
Or at least buy. I wouldn't buy, you know.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm
You can do
saying.
your paperwork and then back out because of
Yeah.
DOTD, but I think, I get where you're coming from.
To be honest, I'm just the guy on the ground. I was told to be here, so here I am.
Well, you might want to talk to the guys that's off the ground and make sure they make the
sure-
right move.
I sure
You
would.
get paid whether you come or not, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm not the one buying it, so
That's right.
it's up to boss man.
I wouldn't be co-signing any checks without that DOTD approval.
That was my question too. I wanted to ask too, but since Walter.
But anyway, any further questions?
Make a motion to approve.
Yeah.
Motion by McAllister, second by Claiborne. All in favor, say aye. Aye. You understand that'll be final in 11 business days. Once again, you have those two cautions about the DOTD and the Historic District Commission.
Yes, sir. I will pass that on to them.
All right, no problem.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wish y'all the best of luck. All right, so do we have number 5, report of office activities?
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment. So the next meeting will be July the 2nd at 5 o'clock. So the last thing is number 6, Reverend Claiborne.
Make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. We stand adjourned until July the 2nd.